Time for another special. But first things first. About collabing on my channel. I've noticed a few of you have collabed on making TSM scripts. I think that's great. However, Owen Lester suggested we collab on animating the TSM series together. And while that idea did sound great on paper, I thought of some potential problems that could arise from there being more than one person animating an episode. While the art style and animation style here closely resembles mine, our ideologies of how a scene should look and sound can be way different, which could result in continuity issues with the scenes, even if I added in my own parts in the script first. By the way, even though the animation style is similar to mine, I think people could still tell the difference between them. For example, the way dialogue interruption works on my animation versus Owen's.
You should have asked her out 5 freaking years ago. Sorry. Go on.
I'm 2001, and welcome out.
So I'd hate to say it, but the animation style here has some of the same problems as early TSM episodes have. But it also has some of the same charms as newer episodes, like smoother and more detailed animation in some spots. So while I don't mind people collabing on scripts, I feel like collabing on animation could raise more complications than necessary. Sorry, I just feel more comfortable doing the animation process myself. But hey, now you have my sprites. So maybe you could do a TSM-RB episode where they meet their TSM counterparts. I think that'd be cool. Also, if I ever need to be replaced, like if I were to die in real life, or if my channel got terminated. Which I guess isn't entirely out of the question now that Melly's in the picture. Owen Lester could be a good replacement animator. Or the DRJ 2006. Hell, even Wingo Chan shows some potential here. Though I don't think she has the right hardware to animate TSM yet. I don't think she has a laptop, I think she just has a tablet and a smartphone. Though I doubt we'll need to replace me anytime soon, even with Melly around. So you guys can stop worrying. Oh, and to anyone who asked me to try using other social media platforms, no thanks. I decided just to use YouTube comments, and I guess my Gmail too. Okay, now about my SirenCon trip. If you thought the weather last year was bad, this year was even worse. The site got hit by a tropical storm, then 3 hurricanes rolled in. Just kidding. The weather there was a lot better this time around, and I was surprised by the sheer number of ACA hurricanes that showed up there. And once again, mighty impressed by the effort NASCAR sim racing put into his mini Darien Hurricane. And speaking of sirens that were tributed, I was also pleasantly surprised by how many sirens and systems were honored. I did the Westmont Thunderbolt and the Toledo Syrodrone. NASCAR sim racing did the Darien Hurricane. The DRJ 2006 did the Cannon Beach Cow Moo test through his mini Bosai Moo Sen, or what he calls the JHU 80, or some longer name that I can't for the life of me remember. And Atlantic Coast Railfanner did the Washington, Missouri Electric Guitar Chimes. Oh, and SWS honored the Addiston Hurricane by playing taps from an iForce. Oh, and there was a guy that wanted me to draw a TSM character for him. I forgot his name, but if he's watching, here you go.
That's so simple, effective, and I absolutely adore how it's 3D.
Siren.
Okay, so Gangster Siren, Thunderbolt 1000T, right?
1000.
1000, with rusty yellow paint.
Yes. And
And-
no blower.
And no blower, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, CS8 Stuff and Crap commented, question for 49K. My previous one was automatically deleted by YouTube due to containing a link. 1. Have you heard of a band called The Burns? No, I have not. Would you make a Cyclone 120 sprite?
Trying to repress my feelings, but it's way too hard. The solid wall behind my eyes is all coming apart. No amount of empathy will soothe my raging nerves. About to curse, about to cry, but it was well deserved. A melting canvas full of paint I tried so hard to keep. Was once a gorgeous work of art, but now I sit and weep. The colors cover all the grief and seep into the ground, but now they've only merged into an ugly shade of brown. And now I'm having a meltdown. Meltdown, I'm having a meltdown. Meltdown, emotional meltdown. Meltdown, I'm having a meltdown. Meltdown, emotional meltdown.
What was your favorite siren at SirenCon? Holy shit, that's tough. First there was a restored Hurricane that shook me up like Millie in bed. Then there's the iForce that played a portion of I'm Thunderbolt, the Screamer that flashed us, and the fact that both Thunderbolts returned to Chopper Level 3, so they sounded like the Westmont Thunderbolt. Oh, and I also enjoyed setting off my mini sirens for everyone. 4. Will CS8 ever return? Like I say, for anyone who asks about a character, it depends on the scripts I animate and whether or not they contain the character. 5. Do you watch destruction content? I used to watch Sean K, or S&M Destruction, a lot. My favorite videos from them are probably the Dell computer and ceiling fan videos.
It's so annoying, isn't it? It's like, you little f***er. You, Barney.
Heather Blackford commented, 49K, woo! 1. Are you going to continue the random siren shorts? Like RSS 21, 22, 23, etc. Maybe. I only came out with part 20 a few months ago, though. I usually only do random siren shorts like once or twice a year. 2. Will you do all signals on your newly mounted Mini Thunderbolt? I don't have anything else. 50K, here we come! A Diamond commented, question for 49K. 1. Will we see the Dokies again? Depends on the scripts. 2. Is it possible for actual guns to be used or no? I have used sprites of real guns and Thunderbolt pistols in TSM before, though the Thunderbolt pistols do fit the series better since sometimes I like to make siren-shaped props, like most notably the toilets or Sideways Mobile Directos. 3. Will we have the full version of Your Reality from the Music Siren Condrum? You know what? I might put up all my MC, BSP, ML304 chimes on my channel as a separate video someday. Tagao2000 commented, well, YouTube is being a pain and deleting my comments for you Q&As, so these are just recopied from 48 to 49K. Do not miss for 49K. 1. Was Mega Blaster Jr. actually discontinued? Will he ever return? The MBJ was only removed from service as the Severe Weather Siren, meaning it is no longer connected to the weather radio. The Mini Thunderbolt has that role now. And the MBJ is now on display with the rest of my mini sirens. The MBJ is still in working order, it just doesn't have as much of an official duty as it used to have. 2. Can you synth the canister siren ambience, both regular port and 8-port all signals? Owen Lester did a canister synth, but I haven't done the 8-port version, which I scrapped the idea of since it would just sound like any other 8-port siren. So here's the sound of an 8-port Banshee to give you an idea of what an 8-port canister would also sound like. Three, what's your opinion on the 2001 sirens? I used to think they were total garbage, but that title belongs to ATI. Nowadays I don't think 2001s are flat out terrible, but they can't hold a kin to the Thunderbolt. The only thing 2001s have going for them against the Bolts is battery backup. Hell, the 2001 130 that replaced the Westmont Thunderbolt is already having problems. It's having pitch fluctuation issues that the Westmont Thunderbolt never had. And the Westmont Thunderbolt is clearly drowning out the Westmont 2001 130 in this video. I can't really think of anything else, sorry. Congrats for 49K if this is in the special. Triblaster / MaxFon Krager E100 commented, how's Millie? She's doing fine. She started playing more advanced songs on her piano now. She used to only play covers of ML304 songs, and now she's playing covers of ML1000 songs too, and sometimes we even play together. Okay, back to reality here. This is obviously just an AI cover of the ML1000 Small Sunset Glow, but it's fun to dream. The Big Train Guy commented, for 49K, did you see the post I pinged you in with the Greater Anglia info display that reads Great Anal? I did, and it looks photoshopped. And 2, is it just me, or does the announcer at the start of the video, Phil Sayer, sound like a British version of Blockhead?
Platform 3 for the 0910 cross-country service to Manchester
Guess it
Piccadilly.
kinda sounds like Blockhead.
Spa, Birmingham New Street, Wolverhampton, Stafford,
It's just missing that text-to-speech-esque style voice.
First class accommodation is situated at the front of the train.
I can just imagine a different version of Blockhead behind the microphone with the Union Jack pan on his face doing the announcement. What would his name be? Brithead? I don't know. The German Sirens commented, questions or whatever many subscribers you got. 49K, congrats. 1. Will you ever make mini sirens with dampers / solenoids? AX3T22 Thunderbolt 1003. If you ever make a 1003, you can make a horn with solenoid boxes, then put the solenoids in them so you can switch from your 1002 to a 1003. There is a slight problem with that. Here's what happens when the air intake is covered on one of my mini sirens. This is due to me using a brushed motor. If I were using an AC synchronous motor, this wouldn't be an issue, though I'm not sure I'm ready to make a siren with an induction motor yet, as I'm used to the DC brushed hobby motors I always use. Now, theoretically, I could make a Mini 1003 since the dampers don't seem to affect the speed much on any Mini 1003, and real Thunderbolts already use brushed motors, but AC instead of DC. That doesn't necessarily mean I'll make anyone anytime soon, though. 2. What parts would you recommend for a Mini Thunderbolt, and what scale is your Mini Thunderbolt? For the motors, I use a Kansai 380 hobby motor for the blower and chopper. For the attack timer, I use a little Radio Shack motor. Oh, those were the days when I could just go into Radio Shack and buy all the electronic components I needed. And for the rotator, I use one of those 30 RPM gear motors you can buy on Amazon. And I have no idea what the scale is on my Mini Thunderbolt. I made it by looking at pics on Google Images. Cardboard T-Bolt commented, questions or whatever for 49K. 1. Some weather radios, for example, Midland 74109, have a siren like chiptune that sounds like a Federal Signal Q or something. I feel like that would be a cool mini siren, don't you think? Just look up Midland 74109 alert test if curious. Oh, sound like a dying kid screaming for help and being mutilated by a rabid tiger. 2. How'd you make the rotator for the Mini P50? I just used a 12-volt DC rotator gearbox motor I got on Amazon. The original one turned at 7 RPM, which is reduced by these 3D printed gears to just over 3 RPM. Unfortunately, though, this one burned out just before SirenCon 2025, so I had to get another one on eBay, which turned at 6 RPM. So it rotates a little slower now, but it's barely noticeable and now rotates it closer to a true 3 RPM. 3. This comment is out of date, but I'm going to do it anyway. The MBJ's original weather radio, the one that didn't work, most likely didn't work because that model of radio has some problems that prevent it from working properly. Decoders and tuners mainly, both of which are crucial for it. The only one I ever had any problems with only stopped working because I overloaded the external alert jack with too much voltage at some point. The new one hasn't failed once. 4. Would you put some strobes on your sirens like the real ones? I've seen a few 2001s with red strobes on them. I had a vision of a new version of the MBJ with red strobes on the rotator at some point, but scrapped the idea because I deemed it unnecessary. 5. I was wondering if you were interested in this video. It's me playing Hill of Tangerine Blossoms on my Bontempi B1 like a Yamaha music siren. Here's the link. Sounds like a hairdryer. It does sound a lot like it. Even though this is reeds instead of choppers, but it does kind of sound like the music siren. I heard this music siren broke down. Like the Yokohama one's like not working anymore now. So, yeah. Not sure when it'll be fixed, if ever, but yeah, I think the only music siren that's in service now is the Oita Prefecture Tokiwa music siren. Because I think the Aigo one's down too, if I'm not mistaken. Due to a control panel malfunction. Unless they fixed that one, but I haven't seen any evidence of them having fixed it yet, so. Six, what speakers did Mini Basima Sen use? I want to get some for my sirens. I use a 2-inch full-range mini woofer in each horn. That's all I got for now. Congrats on the subs. The Rail and Siren fan commented, for 49K, can you please add me as a Grey 2001 130 siren who is 85% good and 15% bad? May I please be in the next love triangle, please? That's something you need to ask Wingo Chan, Oro, and Lester, since they work on the script together often now. Oh, and I've already drawn the character. Smart Rip Guy 118 Productions commented, for 49K, 1. The random siren short 20 at 143, exercise times 3. I wonder if the locals did exercise or not, lol. Probably not. Exercise times 3 just means it's a drill or a test. 2. How does Mini Basima Sen siren know to sound off 1 minute early before the actual test? The chime works differently depending on the device ringing it. If it's either of the Melodixes, a timer triggers it 1 minute before the test. If it's the PBM-10, it's manually started 2 minutes before the test, and the chime rings 1 minute after pressing the button due to a delay I placed in the audio file. This gives me time to get back outside before the chime starts. 3. On random siren shorts 20, I wonder if Mini Thunderbolt can't carry Mini P50 at too much weight, lol. Maybe it's because of how skinny my Mini Thunderbolt's blower pipe is. And finally, 4. What Mini siren are you going to bring for SirenCon 2025? Okay, this must be a comment from before SirenCon this year. I do have plans for next year already, though. I plan to bring the Mini Thunderbolt again. That'll likely be tradition. If possible, the Mini Basima Sen 2, since I want everyone to see how beautiful it is in person. If not, I'll just bring version 1 again. And I'll be playing the Ringsland Chime Station version of Hill of Tangerine Blossoms to kick things off. The Mini SD10, since that one's not yet made a true appearance at SirenCon. Only a copy of it from someone who bought my 3D models. And maybe if we're lucky, a new mini siren I'm working on made by shrinking down and adapting someone's 3D models of a particular siren to fit smaller motors. And due to me using someone else's parts, its files will not be listed on my store, so don't ask. Oh, and since a few people were bellyaching about this at SirenCon this year, the Mega Blaster Jr. might be brought as a display item, just to make up for it not being there this year.
Hey, Will, I gotta show you something. You're not gonna believe this, but someone just found an electronic 5000.
You're not gonna rickroll me, are you?
No, someone really found one.
Alright, let's see. Oh my god. It's legit. That is for sure an electronic 5000.
I know, and it's at a prison of all places.
Yeah, I bet people are gonna start breaking laws left and right so they can get sentenced there on purpose just to bask in its glory.
I'm surprised it wasn't a P50.
Yeah, anyways, you heard her. An electronic 5000 was recently spotted at a prison in Arizona, though the only place you can see it online is on Google Maps. Bonus, new music. Hey, what do you say? Say excuse me, you bitch. That song isn't new. I released that back in September of 2024, alongside several others. EGS_15X Squad 2T08 Digits commented, BTW, any files available for printing the rotors? The files for several of my mini sirens are available for purchase on my merch store, so yes. Falcon Siren Productions commented, how do you connect a siren to a weather radio? I use a 5-volt relay connected to the external alert jack on my weather radio. The siren's main power goes through the contacts of the relay when the coil is switched on by the radio's triac during an alert. And the external alert jack doesn't supply 5 volts, it only completes a circuit with a silicone switch. So you need to supply the relay with your own 5-volt power supply. A USB charger is usually adequate. Here's a circuit diagram to show the ideal way to wire everything up. Neil Prasad 1905 commented, questions for 49K. 1. Did you by any chance go over the full suggestion about Bethany's siren form mentioned in your 47K Q&A? I also mentioned the very same thing to Owen Lester in case. It's a good thing you sent it to Owen Lester because I forgot to go over it. 2. That crash which erased your Gotcha Studio characters, how long it took you to remake them? Not too long, there were only 6 characters I had to make. 3. Referring to Big Train Guy's question, what would my name be in case I'm part of Shards of Glass? Given my Sona plays piano and melodica, Bethany plays harp, electric and acoustic guitar, flute, and also sings. And his twin sister Ani, pronounced Ani, note this is just theoretical. Okay, it's kinda hard to think up new nicknames sometimes. Like for example, an easy one would be Owen Lester, who would be Electric Rain, even though this looks more like Owen's character creation, Oscar, and he would replace Acid Rain as the bassist if needed. But making a nickname for you is tricky, especially since Shards of Glass already has a backup keyboardist, which is Millie Lukoy, or Flashing Lightning. But if you were to replace the dragon, you'd look like this. But I can't think of a name. But if Beth needed to replace Mad Riffer, this is what she'd look like. Again, straightened for nicknames. And SOG also has a backup guitarist, Millie's long-lost sister Molly, under the nickname Molotov. Yes, there was a long-lost sibling of the Lukoys, and her name is Molly. And if Ani replaced Acid Rain instead of Owen, she would look like this. 4. The mini Thunderbolt vs. MBJ song in the Random Siren Shorts 20. Did you originally use your voice before making the Suno AI cover of it? Or did you just fully AI generated it? Yeah, that one was fully AI generated. Even the lyrics are AI generated, which is somewhat of a rarity for me when I use AI music generators, since normally I like to write my own lyrics. 5. You can use Google on this one. What electric guitar models does your SOG band members play? Like Bethany uses her iBand's Geo GRG 220PA. Believe it or not, I never thought of that. I always imagined Mad Riffer just playing a badass red electric guitar. I never thought of any model name or brand. 6. Who's that modulator you drew next to the Gauk siren? He looks a bit like my siren Sona. That's a she, and her name is Angie. Yeah, I can't say the full name since it's the TSM Sona of the DRJ's GF, who's actually real, by the way. Good we all got some closure on that at SirenCon. And the DRJ hasn't fully shown her name on YouTube yet as far as I'm aware. 7. For some reason, the Naughty Times 4 song from Melly confuses me a bit with Kissing in the Rain, referring to the electric guitar part. Wow, really? I didn't really think these songs sounded too similar at all. Eight, in the Random Siren Shorts 20, did you say I'm a fire my laser in Japanese? Yes, I did, and it wasn't easy. I had to Google translate it, then try to say it back with my own voice. I had to say small parts of it and then splice it together since I can't speak fluent Japanese in real life. Jace99 commented, why do you keep calling it a hula whore? It's not that funny. Why do you call it that? Also, I'm not hating. I love your vids. I think that's the official nickname for the real thing. Silver Spinal commented, anyone know what type of motor I would need to run the first siren? I always use can-size 380 motors for the choppers in my mini 3D printed sirens. ThunderCane15 commented, so, questions for a future Q&A. 1. Have you ever thought about doing Tornado Siren Madness shorts? Honestly, I have, but never made any due to me doing one TSM episode at a time, and making several shorts would increase the time needed to do one full-length episode. 2. What port ratio is your Square Horn Hurricane TSM? Maybe you could add a 1012 Square Horn Hurricane. Both Hurricanes are 10/8 port. 3. I doubt many people will be intrigued by this one, but would you be willing to include a gay TSM couple? Example, Hurricane and DSA. Hurricane and DSA are straight, so that wouldn't work. However, I always imagined if any character were gay, it would be the Rainbow Modulator. Or maybe these two particular sirens. And fun fact, Tazio is bisexual, so she might actually be the first LGBT character on the show, even though so far I've only seen her sexuality in Ghostie's comics. Wingo Chan commented, where and when will SirenCon 2026 be held? SirenCon is always held at Camp Tasomas in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and details on when it will be next year likely won't show up on their website until sometime next year. If you want to keep up with things, you can visit their website. By the way, regarding your recent video of me and Millie, I feel I should elaborate on my whole claim about not being able to fall in love. It's hard to get me to fall in love with a real person, but not as much so with fictional characters, because I always worry I wouldn't be able to handle a real relationship, like it wouldn't last. My saying, it's better to crack a heart than to shatter one comes to mind, because a rejection can hurt, but not as much as a breakup. So my anxiety towards love is probably the driving force behind my singularity obsession and my decision to create a fictional lover. So I can't easily be romantically attracted to a real person. I can still make up my own scenarios with fictional characters and fall in love with them. Pretty much what I've seen you do at Null. Bottom line, my fictional Sona can feel more romance than me in real life. I'm still with Millie, and I'm not going to replace her anytime soon. Fire Alarms and EAS commented, hey BSP, just wanted to say some questions for 49K. 1. I made my own TSM series. Would like if you could check it out and react to it. I don't even know what sirens those are. That one looks like a electronic, I think.
Hey you, yes you, my name is S10, a custom siren by
Oh,
my
it's custom.
creator.
Well,
So is all the
that
other
explains
ones
it.
you are going to be seeing in this episode. My maker may put more sirens in when he thinks of ideas. All of this is inspired by Broken Solar Panel. Go check him out. Here is the
Yeah,
sheet
you're
for
checking
the
me out right
characters
now
so
because I'm
far.
reacting to this. That's nearly all.
Now
Those
in
weren't
Schwab
electronics. In Schwab
Man,
video.
what a nice
These are
day
all
it is
custom
today.
sirens.
Although it is getting kind of cloudy outside.
Oh,
I should
custom
not
edition.
really think of it
So I
right
think that's
now.
what
Let's
CE
just
stands
enjoy
for.
the day.
Microsoft Sam.
Wow, it's only been a few minutes and it is starting to get a bit windy, and the clouds have
gonna be a
turned dark
tornado.
surrounding me. Wait, is
And
that
maybe a
circulation
hurricane.
in the clouds?
The tornado's
That
going
is
to touch
really
down
not
in the
good.
eye of that
If
hurricane.
that gets any worse, then I will know. Oh my god, there is a tornado. I
I
have
feel like
to
I'm
warn
doing some butthead
everyone.
impression. What siren is that? Sounds like an alien spaceship.
Boy, no. Your turn. Not really sure what to place down. I have a lot of cards. Wait a minute. Do you
Oh
hear
no, it's
that?
an abduction!
Yes, it sounds like a tornado siren going off. Let's go check it.
It's the same coursing
Oh my
effect
God,
almost as the
look
Nordic
over
Sentinel
there.
1000's
Oh,
buzzer
that
sound.
is a really giant tornado.
And MC-1020,
and it looks
song
like
number
it's
8.
coming closer. Yeah, let's go to my basement. Good idea.
Probably not have stepped outside to begin with. Oh, power lines out.
So, where exactly is your basement?
The lights are somehow
It's
still
over.
on.
Dang it.
There
Did
it
the
goes.
power just go out? I
Guess
think
that
so,
siren
but
has
no
battery
worries,
backup.
I have a flashlight. It looks like the flashlight is out of battery. That's okay. I think I have a flashlight in my basement that has not been used in a while. So maybe it still has battery. Okay. Now where did you see your basement lost? It's right
In
over
the basement.
there.
It's
Follow me.
downstairs.
Oh my god, the tornado.
Oh, he's
is-
standing right next to it.
Yum, 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 yum.
Reminds me of that tornado cartoon from Lotus Bandicoot. The one that had the EAS warning message on it that said, here's the areas that are going to be affected by this storm. This area.
What the did I fall asleep when the tornado hit? Hillbrow, the tornado is over. Wake up.
Bro. Oh, you got to spell it B-R-O-E if you want him to say it right.
I guess I will let him wake up on his own. But for now, let's check out
Yeah,
the
it's the
damage.
thing about Microsoft Sam is there are certain words he
Hopefully
can't
it
say
is
right.
not that bad.
If you spell them a certain way, then he'll say it right.
Wow,
Except
I
for
really
Soleil, that one's
underestimated
pretty
that.
much
This is
inevitably
going to
going to be
take a long
pronounced
time to repair. Well, I guess time to call my landlord and call my friend C, if I can stay over for a bit.
2. I don't remember if you did this or not, but did you fix whatever was wrong with your 2001 siren? Was it the chopper motor going out? The whole thing is full of issues. The chopper fluctuates in pitch and has trouble even reaching full speed sometimes. The rotator gets stuck from the gear skipping teeth. It's pretty much just a display item until I upgrade the rotator to be the same as my Mini Thunderbolts is now, replace the chopper motor, and possibly redesign the chopper so it'll be louder than a bee's fart, which is about how loud it is at the moment. 3. How is all your sirens going? Aside from the Mini 2001 DC, fine. 4. Do you collect fire alarms or EAS systems? Nah. Also happy you got 49K. You have made me inspired by so many sirens and such. Have a good rest of your day. ChessieFan19 commented, for 49K, why do the voices make the squawk noise? That has been a meme based on a glitch with MS Sam for years now. If you type SOI into Microsoft Sam, it makes the squawk sound. Hell, it doesn't even work when you spell it right. Same for the other version on my old Dinosaur PC. 3T22 commented, RIP Sirodrome replaced by SD10. No, I just put a different mini siren up there every month. It'll be back at some point. Sirens and iPhones commented, the neighbors, this kid is back at it again with the loud music and sirens. My mini sirens aren't very loud, except for the mini beside Musen, but it is very directional and the house that's closest to the front of the straight horn is all the way across the street. I doubt they can even hear it clearly unless their front windows were open. Birdie Bro G&G commented, at Broken Solar Panel 2649, I have a question. When you were at SirenCon, you had two versions of Im Thunderbolt and you picked the first one which had the S-bomb. Was that a mistake or on purpose, lol? Love your prince and much love. That was accidental. I had totally forgotten I'd used the word shit in the song up until the lyric was uttered. But the reaction from everyone when it happened was priceless, especially the DRJ's reaction. He just started cackling like a hyena. Oh, and shout out to Siren Fan 1000T for doing this with my mini beside Musen. His phone was plugged into it. Ash the Manokick commented, did you have any idea that would play on Thunderbolt? No, I didn't. It was a pleasant surprise, though. I thought it was fun. The DRJ 2006 commented, did you destroy my light bulb yet? No, I haven't, because I actually have an idea for a Gotcha Gotcha video where Millie smashes it. Yes, Millie's first animated appearance will be made likely at some point after TSM A Blast at the Mall is completed. By the way, it'll be another one of those live-action Gotcha Studio crossover videos rather than a full-on Gotcha video. Oh, and I already know what the surprise inside the bulb is. I've used halogen bulbs before. And it also says it right on the top of the bulb. Also, not really related, but I saw your video where you thought your mini Vibratower broke. Glad it was okay in the end, but those brushes have gotta go. Just using wires as brushes isn't enough for a reliable contact with collector rings. You need brushes with enough spring to apply continuous pressure to achieve solid electrical contact with the collector rings. I always use brushes from small hobby motors, but since we're working with 120 volts AC here, you might want something thicker to handle the power. Oh, and you needn't worry about shorting out my inverter. My setup's short circuit protection is basically like wearing two condoms over each other. Both the battery and inverter have overload protection. Though I do appreciate you looking out for my setup. Atlantic Coast Railfanner commented, let me confirm some things about my 4004 here. 1. It's not ex-Washington, Missouri. The head is from Clinton Township, Michigan, and the control panel is from Brighton, Michigan. The controller on it when it did the Westminster chimes is owned by my friend you see sounding it off in the video, and that controller is from Washington. 2. The oscillator had water in it, which is why it was acting funny. She almost got red tagged. For those unaware, a red tag on a siren at SirenCon takes it out of service. It's also called the red tag of shame. The gear-driven Wayland rotators have fail-safes in them that prevent them from breaking or screwing up the DC motor. Vortexes used to have unreliable belt-driven rotators, but now they are gear-driven too. 3. Her name is Charity. I'm glad it got to be shown off there, as unfortunately I couldn't go. Before I was going to leave, I had like 5 people get fired where I work and I had to stay. Wow, that sucks, Major Donkey Ass. Maybe you'll get lucky next year. This was an awesome event though, and I'm sure it was extremely worth it. One last thing, what'd you think of my 4004? It was loud as from where I was. I like the 1210 port sound too. Quite a chilling sound when running attack, I gotta say. Albert Jin official channel commented, 1 hour 40 minutes guitar version of Westminster Bell? Nice. Yeah, that is what Washington, Missouri's Wayland 4004s used to sound like when doing a chime. SirenFan 1000T commented, me blasting I'm Thunderbolt, lol. Yeah, I wish I would have recorded that moment. As far to my knowledge, Dr. J is the only one who recorded it, and he only got most of it.
Will,
Yeah?
this just came in the mail today.
Oh my god, this is that new Melodix card I ordered.
The Love is Blue one?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that chime. Though I really hope we can get the yesterday card at some point.
Oh my god, me too. Though that one's becoming a bit rare though. And I just bought this one, so just be patient.
Oh, no worries. I can wait. It's worth it.
You bet. Anyways, a bit off subject for the Q&A, but Millie just brought in the new Melodix card I ordered. It's the MCT06 Love is Blue card. This one will replace next month's chime, which was originally an abridged version of the ML1000 home road. Anyways, this is Broken Solar Panel signing off.